All right, in this video, if you didn't read the title, we are going to be breaking down the top 2 reasons why you are still stuck with your fat loss journey. Why you're working out 3 to 5 days per week, you're on the floor for 5 minutes afterwards, but your body composition ultimately just isn't changing. You go home to take a shower, strip your sweaty clothes off, look in the mirror, and you're like, dang, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And we're going to go over the top 2 reasons that I believe are keeping people stuck who are going all out in workouts, who are eating pretty healthy, as they would say, but still aren't seeing the progress whenever they look in the mirror. The number on the scale isn't changing, how their clothes fit isn't changing, or it's even getting worse. Their clothes are getting tighter and tighter, even though they're still working out the same amount that they used to. And ultimately, they just are spending years in this phase where they're working out super hard, they're eating pretty healthy, yet nothing is changing. The scale isn't moving, body comp isn't changing. Ultimately, we just aren't able to lose the body fat, right? Like that's what's happening right now. So I'm going to go over the top 2 ways why I believe, based off of coaching over 250 people at this point. I think we're at actually like 240 people, how to lose body fat, maintain, or even grow their muscle mass while they're training 3 to 5 days a week, because we dial in the other 23 hours of the day. How many people do you know that go to the gym more than you do and are 20 to, let's say, 50 pounds overweight? Probably quite a few. I know quite a few, right? Why is that? It's not the working out. It's not the hour that they're spending in the gym 6 days a week, right? 6 hours a week. They're going super hard in the gym. You're like, dang, how's that guy still look like that if he's going that hard every day? Because the other 23 hours in the gym, or outside of the gym, excuse me, the other 23 hours are not being optimized. Let's say that. They're not being optimized for that hour in the gym. Okay. And because of that, you put years behind that. Well, ultimately, we just aren't making any progress at all from a body composition standpoint, even though you're getting quote unquote fitter because you're training, 6 hours a day or 6 hours a week in that example. So let's break it down. The top two reasons that I believe, based off doing this the past 3 years and coaching over 240 people, why people continue to be stuck. Okay. So, reason numero uno. This is what most people's week looks like from a nutritional standpoint. Okay. From a nutritional standpoint. So, you're working out, let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rest day on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday. Okay. So, 5 days a week, you're going to the gym. This is most people, how they're eating, right, throughout the week. So Monday, most people are really good on Monday. They start out super strong, right? We're here. Okay, we're feeling good. We're continuing to be here. Everything's going really well. Oh my gosh, like I'm eating so great throughout the week. And then all of a sudden, Friday evening hits and we take a plummet. Now, when we take this plummet, something goes off in our human brains that say, oh, well, we trained super hard this week. We really got after it. It's Friday night. I want to be able to, hang out and enjoy the, endless chips and queso with my friends. And you know what? That's okay. It's fine. We trained really hard this week, right? And so this dips down and we kind of give ourselves an excuse to eat and not only just eat, right? Eating certain foods that don't align with your goals, totally fine, right? When we exceed just eating and we're actually, kind of self-sabotaging and borderline binge eating, because we've been super restrictive Monday through, Friday at 7 p.m., super, super crazy restrictive. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, like I need to kind of take advantage of this endless chips and queso, if we're sticking with that example. Now, all of a sudden, we are kind of self-sabotaging, like, oh, might as well have 5 margaritas, might as well have ice cream, might as well have, right, X, Y, and Z, the list goes on. Now we're here. Then Saturday and Sunday, we're like, man, well, I already ruined my diet on Friday night. I already ruined my diet on Friday night. So, you know what? I might as well just like completely continue ruining my diet for the rest of the weekend. And then I promise I'm going to start back on this diet on Monday, right? So most people go through this huge dip. And this is what gets people feeling like, man, Liv, like I'm eating really healthy. I just can't seem to lose the weight. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose body fat. You will lose body fat. I've yet to meet one person that has just defied science and has not been losing body fat if they're truly in a caloric deficit. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, most of Friday, we're like dialed in, in not only dialed in a good way, but we're completely like over restrictive so that every Friday evening, Saturday, whatever it is, some point in the weekend, we indulge, we overdo it, we kind of overcorrect. And then we get this feeling that it's like, well, I already fucked it up, so I might as well eat like trash the rest of the weekend so I can start on a brand new slate on Monday. This is one of I'm not kidding you, the biggest things that is holding people back from truly seeing progress, from feeling unstuck, from changing their body composition once and for all, is we feel like, because our human brains want to close the loop, right? That's why when you open a bag of chips and you get halfway through, you're like, well, I might as well finish this thing off, right? It's the same thing, right? So we're trying to always close the loop. And for a lot of people, right, Monday morning or Mondays are kind of a new start and to the loop. You can think about it where like Sunday night is kind of the closing. And so whenever we're eating like absolute trash on Friday, we are just like, well, might as well close the loop. Might as well just like tie this, like put a bow on it and eat like trash the rest of the weekend. But when we zoom out and we're like, oh, well, really, I was in a caloric deficit, Monday through Friday. So, I should still be good to go. No, that's not how it works, right? Because if we zoom out from the week, well, if you take, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's almost 40% of your week that you're not on plan, right? That you're completely overdoing it, putting you in a week's total in a calorie surplus, aka you're gaining body fat, not losing body fat. So you're thinking that you're eating healthy for most of the week, you're ruining on the weekend. And it happens over and over and over and over, and we just get in this cycle, and then we are in it for years, and then we're like, what the hell? I can't lose weight. This doesn't work for me. Blah, blah, blah. I am in a calorie deficit, Liv. I just can't do it. My metabolism, my age, whatever. No, I don't want to say no. 99% of the time, no, you're just not truly in a calorie deficit. Either your body has adjusted to your intake, and you need to adjust your plan, or most likely, you're actually just not in a calorie deficit at all, right? You're just not in a calorie deficit at all because of Friday evening through Sunday, where you're completely overindulging. And when we look at this, right, if we take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday out of the equation, let's say that's 40% for simple math, we're left with 60%. 60% of our week that we're staying on plan. 60% from just as a grade, like, is a D. Like that's getting D level results, right? D level results is not what I like. I don't really know anyone that wants to, be on the floor from working out, 5-6 days a week, whatever it is, and get D level results. Like that's the effort and what we're getting out of it aren't lining up, right? And so that's why people get so frustrated, because they feel stuck, because they feel like they're doing things right when really they're only doing things right 60% of the time. And like ultimately to make the changes that people are looking for, right? Like I just like want to lose this weight. I want to lose this stubborn belly fat. 60% is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. And that's why people do this exact thing for years and don't get anywhere. 60% is just not going to cut it. Okay. So this is the number one thing. And like, this is pretty much like in order. Number one thing, keeping people stuck where they're at, feeling frustrated, working out in the gym, feeling like, oh, well, like, should I work out more? Should I get more steps? Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you need to be ultimately more consistent, which is what I'm preaching about all the time. You need to be more consistent. That's what it comes down to. Okay. You're doing things right 60% of the time. Maybe, maybe. And this is also factoring in that Monday through Friday, evening, you're not, slipping up at all, right? You're not having a bite of this, a handful of that. Like this is also assuming that 60% is like truly on plan, right? Which also tends to not really happen. So reason number two. Mystery post-it notes here. Reason number two, and this kind of works hand in hand with reason number one. Reason number two is that we are tracking with a Apple Watch or oh no, that's not what I want. We are tracking our calories, right? That, oh, I burned I burned 1,000 calories in the workout today, Liv. Holy shit. And then we're kind of, whether it's subconsciously or not, we're tracking this, and then we're like, oh, I deserve X thing, right? I deserve a cupcake. I deserve ice cream. I deserve X, Y, and Z. Here's the problem. Folks. On average, between males and females, an hour-long CrossFit class. I know it might seem, because you're like on the floor, afterwards, you're sweating, your heart rate's through the roof. It's one of the hardest things you've ever done. On average, in those classes, you're burning about 350 to 450 calories. It's not this huge amount of calories that then it's like, okay, well, I should, go, eat 1,000 calories because I did this really hard workout. And I think people get in this cycle when we do really hard workouts often, that they need to come with some type of reward in the form of food, right? In the form of food. Oh, I worked out super hard this week. I deserve to have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to be off plan because I worked out that hard. And it's like, here's the thing. You burned 350 to 450 calories. If you have looked at any, nutrition labels of the calories, and especially processed foods, I mean, I could eat, a crumble cookie has like 500 calories, 600 calories, something crazy like that. Like 500, 600 calories can be eaten in a couple of bites, which is like what you did in a whole hour of a hard CrossFit workout. Obviously, those vary depending on, the strength and how hard the Metcon is, and you get it. But just like for sake of example, like in that range, right? And then we're like, oh, I deserved this. I did this, I burned 300 calories. I deserve this 700 calorie cookie. And it's like, that's where people kind of have it wrong, right? And so something tactical that you can take from this video is, yes, you're working out hard. Yes, like I believe that like most people should be doing CrossFit 3 to 5 days a week. I truly believe in it. I've been doing CrossFit the past 11 years, and I absolutely love it. I still coach a couple classes a week just because it's fun, and I take the 6 a.m. class at my gym. However, just because you're doing CrossFit or doing hard workout, whatever that is for you, doesn't mean you just deserve this reward in the form of food. Something that I think can be powerful is, yes, okay, I accomplished something, right? Like that feeling you get after a workout, you feel accomplished, and that's all fine and good, but it doesn't mean the reward has to be in the form of food. Like the reward can be, like for me, this sounds kind of silly, but for me, it's like this, it's getting like something that feels really rewarding is getting like a Reign energy drink, right? Like it doesn't have to be this like mound of cookies or cupcakes or whatever it is. Like it can be something that has like 0 calories, 0 sugar, has a little bit of caffeine, right? A little bit of like a pick me up for myself. And it can also be something completely not like food or drink related. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, taking 5 minutes to like watch a YouTube video, or maybe it's like, hey, I'm gonna, go for a walk by myself just to kind of like be in my thoughts and help me kind of slow down for the day. This can be like going for a drive. Like there's just so many different ways to reward yourself that doesn't, have to be with food or a drink. Don't even get me started about rewarding ourselves with alcohol, right? Like all of that, we don't have to go into this reward system of workout equals bad food. Oh, I worked out hard. I deserve to eat this blank, right? For me, it's always sweets, right? Like I have a big sweet tooth. So like I deserve to have this crumble cookie. I deserve to have this cupcake. And then we get stuck in this and we wonder why nothing's changing. You're rewarding a 350 calorie workout with a 700 calorie cookie. That math doesn't math. And so, try to reward yourself if you feel like you're someone that like feels like, oh, I feel like I need to like reward myself for, this awesome workout that I did. Maybe it was like extra crazy that day, or you just kind of feel like, oh man, I feel like I'm one of those people that needs to kind of have that reward system. Try to base it with something or reward yourself with something that's not food related, and definitely not, cupcakes and, I don't know, McDonald's hash browns or whatever the heck is your thing. It doesn't have to be rewarding yourself with food, right? There's so many things that you could do to reward yourself. Maybe it's calling a friend that like you've been knowing you need to like get in contact with and catch up with. And maybe it's just like taking the time to like contact them and just say like, hey, I was thinking about you. And yeah, I love you. Let's get on a call, right? Like let's like call and catch up. So just not having to reward yourself with food, right? There's so many other things to reward yourself with to keep that positive reinforcement. But a lot of people work out hard and then ultimately reward themselves with, processed, sugary, fatty foods. And then we do this, a few times a week, even once a week. If we're kind of blowing things off on the weekends as well, right? With the point number one. And that's really the two biggest things that I see that keep people stuck where they're at and don't know how to lose the body fat, change their habits, and ultimately like make change that's actually sustainable for them. So if this resonated with you and you are looking for help with losing body fat, gaining muscle mass, and performing better in the gym without needing to carry around a food scale, track your macros, count your calories, all that traditional nutrition coaching BS, then there's going to be a link down below this video. You can book in a call with me. We'll go over where you're at, where you want to be, why this gap is happening in the middle. Maybe it's one of these two things, and see if I can help. I will see you in the next video.